Jason Garrett a bigger problem than Dak Prescott?
Yeah, you're wrong. I'm sorry, I was a little distracted because your topic sentence was amazing and your thesis was amazing. Here's your topic sentence. Dak Prescott was terrible last night. All right, respect. And here's your thesis. Dak Prescott was awful. Okay. Why else talk? Like, what else are you talking about? You're blaming the sidelines, the same sidelines that, 3 years ago made Dak Prescott. The same Dak Prescott that we're still holding on to that rookie year. Who was the coach then? Was it Jason Garrett? Oh, yeah. Who was the offensive coordinator? Was it Scott Linehan? Yeah, it was. So the same guy that made you is all of a sudden now the guy that breaks you. I just go back to my own career and everyone else that I've ever played with. If we had consistency on the sidelines and we had success with that same coaching staff, they're not to blame necessarily when it comes down to us not producing. You got to look in the mirror sometimes. And Dak Prescott, throughout his career, even if you want to respect fully his rookie season, has never been amazing as a quarterback. He was protecting the ball, he was winning games, and he had a very productive rookie season. Exceeded expectations. But since then, has been average at best, and that's being respectful to a guy who did win his rookie season. For me, I'm not looking to the sidelines. I'm not going to do what Dallas has always done, blame the coaches. Start looking at the guys who have had success at times with this staff and needs to return to that, or they need to be held accountable.
I mean, I don't think Dak played terrible. I mean, he threw one interception that was awful, that a starting quarterback who we're saying gets it and has the potential to be a franchise quarterback should never make. But I've seen those guys still make that throw because they lock in and they say, hey, this is the play we've worked all week. It's always worked in practice. I'm throwing it no matter what. Yeah. And so that was one of those situations where he threw that ball no matter what. And it was god-awful. It was. But I don't look at this game and say, man, if Dak wasn't the quarterback, they would win. I look at it and I say, if this play calling was just a little bit better, they win. They win this game, or at least they have a chance to win this game. And you don't think so?
How does Dak Prescott disappear from the running game? He had been a big part of the running game, and they had committed to that, and then, boom, it goes away.
What do you have, 2 carries for 11 yards?
Yeah, and one of them was a scramble, I know for sure.
It makes no sense the way they're paying him, but I'm a big believer in a body of work, okay? You got to, and that's why I don't like judging a guy after 1 year or a guy in his contract season having a bunch of sacks or making a bunch of plays, because I'm like, what have you done for a complete body work over the last couple, 2-3 years? And so looking at these guys, Jason Garrett, he's an 8-8 coach. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I think he's got to go if you want to see a difference in Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, what have you done? Since you had that great offensive line, you have not performed. That line has gotten hurt, therefore your play has declined, and he needs an offensive line in order to be effective. Now, they could help him with the play calling because he did play well a couple weeks ago, but even still to this point, I'm not sure he's my franchise quarterback. For Jerry Jones to say that this is our guy going forward, I'm like, whoa, wait a second. You're going to give this guy $100 million, and you look at what he's done. At the very least, give him. He's got his contract year next year. Bring in some new coaches. Get an offensive coordinator, someone like Norv Turner. What he's done for Cam. Cam is all of a sudden looking like an MVP again because he's got a really good offensive coordinator again. Let's see Dak in that scenario, and then give him the money. Otherwise, both of them at this point, for their body of work, I'm like this. I'm like, both of y'all got to go.
You on an island, Marcellus.
I'm not on the island because that wasn't. I love Tony Gonzalez. That wasn't fact-based. Jason Garrett is not an 8-8 coach.
He is an 8-8
He's 12
coach.
games over 500. If we're going to call it like we're going to call it, let's call it for real. Okay, I'm just saying that's not 8-8. Look, he's a winning coach, okay? And Dak Prescott, by the numbers, and I respect what he's saying about body of work, we got so caught up in that rookie season, but everything worked out for him on the offensive side of the ball. Think about it. He played under Romo's system. And it's amazing if you play under Romo's system and it works for you, where's the regression coming from when they actually adjust the system to you? How do you regress in that system?
But Marcellus, he was under Romo's system that rookie year, right?
They didn't expect him to start, right.
Okay. That was Romo's system. But why was that system successful? Dak didn't pass but for 230 yards a game. Why was that system successful? It was because they had an offensive line. That team was built a certain way,
right,
and they were able to run the ball.
Yeah.
They aren't doing that now. That offensive line is nowhere near what they expected it to be. And so for them, yeah, Dak can still be the guy. Why? Because we need to get the O-line better healthy. We need to get, like, they basically have money tied up in old linemen who aren't playing.
Yeah,
some for health reasons, some for health
but
reasons.
y'all watching soap operas. We saw this happen with Mark Sanchez. And wait a minute.
This dude ain't Mark Sanchez.
I ain't saying he is, but watch the parallels. Okay. We saw the running game there. We saw the strong defense for them, but an offensive line that was giving him protection. And we saw that. And then we started saying, you know what? He's okay. He's pretty good. We started to exaggerate our expectations. And then what happened? When you don't have all those pieces around you, a franchise quarterback can cover up those deficiencies. A franchise quarterback, not just a quarterback. And if he's a franchise quarterback, as Jerry Jones is testifying, when are you going to cover up a deficiency on that offensive side of the ball?
Marcellus, I am leaning your way in terms of Dak Prescott not a franchise quarterback.
Okay.
But for me, it's hard to evaluate Dak Prescott and give up on him because I don't think Jerry's planning on giving him $100 million. I think they're going to give him a Case Keenum-like contract, 2 or 3 years, some sort of extension. And I think if I were Jerry, I would pump the brakes. Let me see what happens the last 8 games.
Right.
But for me, Cole Beasley didn't get a target until the 4th quarter. They had been relying on this guy all year. Dak Prescott doesn't run the ball. I'm looking at this coaching staff like, I know we got Amari Cooper, and I thought Amari looked pretty good, looked savvy with his route running and all that. Mm-hmm. But damn, I'm not throwing my whole offensive strategy out the book and everything I've done all year because Amari Cooper showed up.
Wait a minute. Y'all acting like in a progression that he doesn't have the option to go to Cole Beasley. Wait a minute. When plays are coming, Tony Gonzalez was next to me, so I got
it was certain times
for
watching that game, though, where he just stayed on Amari the entire time.
And that's on Dak?
Like, bro, that's on Dak.
That's on
Dak, but I guarantee, man, he was told during that week of preparation, he's going to be open. This is where we want the ball to go. And yes, he has to change sometimes when he's covered.
Hit your second progression.
Both of them. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep, because I agree with both you guys. Like right now, both of them are mediocre. They're just both mediocre. That's all there is to it up to this point. Now, if something can change going forward, then let's see it. But right now, Jason Garrett, how many playoffs has he been to? Has he won a playoff?
Twice.
He's been
twice.
I think it's 3, two or three, and 2 of them been wild cards.
I thought twice and 1 win.
1 win. I know 1 win.
It's not great. Dak Prescott, it's just not great so far. But it's only his 3rd year. Maybe he can get better. But up to this point, without that offensive line, he looks very pedestrian. He looks like an average quarterback. For me, I think the worst thing that could happen to a franchise is getting just a good quarterback because now you're handcuffed to that guy. It's not going to ever get you to that Super Bowl, to that big. You need I would say, roll the dice. Let's keep going back to the well. Let's go get a quarterback and go get a franchise quarterback until we can get to the Super Bowl.
Dak Prescott got locked in on a dig route when there was a wheel route wide open for a touchdown. They even showed the replay. But I mean, that's on Jason Garrett, and it's on Jason.
Let me tell you why. I think he's lost confidence because clearly they spent the bye week and just came up with a completely different strategy than what they had been doing all season. And so Dak, he looked like a robot out there that was scared. And so he was focusing in on 1 or 2 reads. He was afraid to let it rip downfield and to take those chances. I think it's because there was so much chaos during the bye week. New offensive line coach. Clearly, they decided we're going to feature Amari Cooper and we're going to de-emphasize Cole Beasley, his security blanket. I think all of that had Dak rattled, and that's why I'm saying the coaching staff goes first, and then Dak follows.
I can't believe this. Y'all are some revisionists up here. Because after week 1, when they lost to Carolina, Jerry Jones went on record and says, I want my quarterback to play more like that quarterback in Cam Newton. Remember that?
Yeah, right.
Because the game plan was exactly what we saw last night. The game plan was not Dak Prescott run out the pocket, extend plays, and hit every receiver. It was exactly what you saw last night. What happened was they changed the game plan, and they had some success. The 40 points you talk about and scoring against Jacksonville. But even Dak didn't have an amazing game. He did well running out the pocket, but not amazing, not 300 yards, not 3 touchdowns. So the point is, their game plan consistency has always been the same. Inconsistency. And now...
That's my point.
And now we're saying you've had success going both ways. And you've also had moderate success in comparison to what a franchise quarterback looks like. So if you're measuring Dak based on numbers of rookie season and issues around him, he's successful. But if you measure him against all the other quarterbacks who have to still look at their team, find issues, and correct them and still perform, he is not of that standard. It's that simple.
As a D lineman, would you rather chase Cam Newton in the pocket or have Cam Newton play against Cam Newton or play against Tom Brady? As a DN, as a pass rusher.
I mean,
for you to even think about that,
two evils.
for you to even think about that question,
yeah.
you ask a DB or a receiver who you rather have throw you the ball, a Cam Newton or a Tom Brady, because he's a great passer, right?
Yeah.
But for you to even have to think about that tells you how hard it is to stop a scrambling quarterback or a mobile quarterback.
Very difficult.
And for them not to want to utilize that, it goes to what Whit's saying, man. It makes no sense. And to put 40 points up doing it that way and still not want to do that?
Most mobile quarterbacks have hell
mind.
to pay. Ask Deshaun Watson taking the bus.
At this
hell to pay.
He's a little bigger.
At this point,
right.
At this point with Dak Prescott, though, because again, right now all the evidence says he's not a supreme franchise quarterback. Then take the risk. If he gets beat up, so what? It's the game of football. You're not paying this guy a bundle of money. Now's the time to let him run out there and take the risk.
Yeah, otherwise, he'll never be as good as he could be because I don't think he cannot sit in the pocket like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just like Cam Newton. When Cam Newton was trying to say, I'm going to sit back in the pocket, conserve my body, I'm like, okay, well, then Superman's gone. You're not going to be Superman anymore. You're going back to Clark Kent. And so use your strengths. And I know it might cut your career a little bit shorter. I'm sorry.
But you'll have a job. I mean, guys feared RG because he had the potential to run. And then when he came, I don't want to run no more. I'm just going to be a pocket passer. Dude didn't play football last year. I love the way he has a job now in Baltimore, but like Tony said, it might cut your career short, but at least you'll have a career.